Gosh darn it! Today I'm gonna show you how to save some money because I've got something for you today. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Hey everybody, this is Leah of seejanedrill, and today's video is kind of special because we're doing a collab with this guy right here. Now, many of you know him as my brother Dave, but what you may not know is that Dave is in the trades just like I am, and he's also one of the instructors for the seejanedrill Masterclass course. Now, lately, we've been trying to do videos that were, trying to save you some money, and today's video is no exception. So, Dave, what do you got that's gonna save folks at home a lot of cash?
Leah, we're gonna do a toilet tune-up, and you're just not gonna believe how easy it is to tune up a toilet and how much money you can save by doing it yourself.
You know what? And that's true, folks, because a lot of people will run out, buy a new toilet. You don't have to, folks. Or hire a plumber to come and install a new toilet, and it's gonna cost you $700-800. Well, today we're gonna save you a boatload of money. So folks, why don't we just dive right into it?
Okay, so what we're gonna do here with this toilet mock-up, we're gonna give it a tune-up. You ever walk past the bathroom and you hear the toilet running, then you gotta go in, you gotta try to jiggle that toilet to get it to stop? It's one of the most annoying things that there is for me. And what that tells you is the parts inside, they're a little worn out. So I've got a kit that I purchased that we're gonna replace all these parts with, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is to get that done. Okay, so what I've got here is an all-in-one replacement kit. I like to call it a tune-up kit. And this has got everything in it that's gonna make this toilet like new again. You can replace individual components. You can just do one thing or another. And I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna show you exactly what's in here. And if you just need one piece, you can go ahead and just replace that one piece. I think this kit was about $20. So I figured, why not just make the whole toilet like new? Okay, so this is the tune-up kit that I was referring to earlier, and I'm going to show you what each one of these parts' purpose is. This is our fill valve. This is what turns your toilet on and off. And what happens is when you flush the toilet, this float goes down and the water turns on. When the water fills up again, the float starts going up and it turns the valve off. Well, this float can get bad sometimes and it no longer rides on the water, and it won't rise all the way to the top and turn off the water. That could give you the reason why your toilet is running sometimes. It comes with a new handle, it comes with some new hosing, and it also comes with a flush valve. That's what this is. This has got your flapper, and when you pull the handle on your toilet, it pulls up on this chain. Flushes the toilet. When it's done flushing, this falls down and it seals right here. If this doesn't seal properly, water's going to keep going through and it's going to cause the toilet to run. That's why sometimes you have to jiggle it, and you're actually trying to get this flapper to seat here. And it could be a number of things. This is just made out of rubber. It could be bad, or you could have some calcium buildup down here that could be holding, whatever it can be. That's what your problem for this is going to be. So we've got a new flush valve. Now there are two different size flush valves. This is a 2-inch flush valve. We've also got a 3-inch flush valve. 3-inch is not going to be as common, so I don't want you to be surprised. The most common one is going to be the 2-inch. However, on our mock-up here, we've actually got a 3-inch flush valve, so we've got one of these here. It's also going to come with your hardware. This is what's going to bolt the tank to the bowl. I want to show you the most common toilet that you're going to find in a home, and that's going to be a 2-piece toilet. And the first piece is the top piece here, which is called the tank, which holds the fresh water. And the second piece is the bottom right here, which is called the bowl. Now they do make a 1-piece toilet tank, and it's going to be similar to replacing the valve, but you're not going to be taking the tank off of the bowl. Okay, so we're going to shut off the water. I just want you to follow me down here, and at the bottom of your toilet is where you're going to find your shut-off valve, and we're just going to shut it off. Okay, so now that we've got the water turned off, we want to empty the tank of all its water. You just do that by flushing the toilet. Okay, so now that we've flushed the toilet and got all the water out of the tank, we're going to have to get the residual. So you want to take off the lid, and you see you're going to have residual water down in our bottom. We just want to get that so we don't make a mess on the floor. You can use a towel, you can use a sponge and drain it into a bucket. So now that we've got our tank dry, now we want to disconnect the water supply right here at the bottom of the tank. And you just want to unscrew this. You're going to get a little bit of water that's going to come out. If you get anything more than a few drips coming out of the line, that's going to tell you that this valve is going to need to be replaced. And Leah's going to walk you through replacing a valve a little bit later on in this module. Okay, so I'm right here at the bottom of the tank where we removed our water supply line. And if you notice, there's going to be a nut right here that's going to be holding our fill valve in place. This is what we need to remove to pull that valve out of the tank. Loosen this up. Once you get it loose, you should be able to just spin it off with your hand. Now that we've got this nut off, we're actually going to go to the top of the tank and show you how easy it is to just pull this out. Just like that. And you want to make sure that there's no gasket or anything that's left down there at the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to remove the flush handle. I'm going to remove the chain that's connected to the flapper. Once we get that off, then this nut right here, what you want to remember about this nut is it's actually a reverse thread. So you're going to actually go the opposite direction to loosen it. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the tank right now. This is where we removed that fill valve from. And we're going to need to remove this bolt right here. I'm going to show you what the new bolt looks like and what we're removing. See this nut right here? This nut is right here on the bottom, but at the top of the tank, you see there's a slotted groove for a screwdriver. This is going to need to be held at the top with a screwdriver while you're removing this nut at the bottom. Okay, so now I've got this loose on this side. And what you want to do is you want to repeat the same process on the other side. We're actually going to remove the tank off of the bowl. Just make sure that you've got a place set up where you can actually set the tank down. You might have to put a cloth or something on the floor because you don't want your tank to actually get scratched in the process. Okay, so now we've got our tank on its side and we're going to work on removing the flush valve, which is right here. First thing we're going to do is we're actually just going to remove this gasket, which just pulls right off. That exposes the lock ring that holds the flush valve in place. Okay, so to remove this lock ring, you're going to need a decent sized wrench or pipe wrench. Once you get it, you can hand untighten it. So once you get that lock ring off, you can actually just push this in, and now it's and there's our flush valve. Now we're going to put the new one in. We're going to do everything in reverse order and we're going to replace everything, but one thing we do have to do is we have to adjust the height of our overfill tube. If you've got this 2-inch version, the overfill tube, you may have to use a hacksaw and cut it down if it's the wrong height. You just want to put it next to each other. This one seems pretty close, but sometimes it may be a little bit higher. If it is higher, just make sure that you cut it off to the same exact height. On the 3-inch version that we're going to be using, it comes with an adjustable overflow. So you actually can pull it out and adjust it to whatever height you need inside of your tank. So we don't have to worry about actually doing a cut. We're actually going to place this in the tank and then we're going to move it to the appropriate height within the tank once we get it installed. Okay, so now we're going to reinstall our new flush valve. But what you want to make sure is that the gasket is in place. You want to make sure that it's firmly up against the flush valve before you insert it. So we're just going to insert this into the opening. And once we get it in there, we're going to rotate the overflow tube toward the back of the tank as to make sure that we don't interfere with these holes right here, because that's where the bolts that attach the tank to the bowl are going to go. So once you've got that inserted, you just want to go to the other end of the tank and screw on your retaining nut. I'm just going to give it a slight turn just to snug it up, but you don't want to over tighten that. We're going to reinstall our gasket, and then we're actually going to put the tank back into place. You just want to make sure that rubber gasket that we put on the bottom goes right over that opening. Now that we've got it in place, our bolt holes are lined up, and we're just going to put our 2 bolts through from the top. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the tank right now, and we're going to put the first piece on, which is going to be the small rubber washer. After the rubber washer, you're going to have the small metal washer. And after that, you're going to have your nut that's going to lock it in place. And you want to screw this on until you get it hand tight, and then you want to repeat the process on the other side and get it hand tight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually put a wrench on it, and we're going to tighten each side slightly until it rocks no more. Once it stops rocking, you're done. You want to make sure that you don't over tighten it because you don't want to crack the porcelain. Okay, so now we've got our tank in place and there's no rocking. It feels very solid. Okay, so now we're going to install the fill valve. But before we do that, we just need to make a small adjustment inside the tank with the flush valve that we just installed. So here, let me take you down here to the tank, and right here is our flush valve. You want the top of this flush valve to be 1 inch below this opening where our handle goes. So right there, I measured it out. You might need a tape measure and kind of make a line going across and get it at about 1 inch below that opening. For our fill valve, we want our fill valve, you want this blue cap to be about 3 inches above this. So when you stick it into the hole, you should be about 3 inches above, which is right about there. And how this gets adjusted is it just screws in and out. So if you grab the base of it and you grab the top, you can twist it, and if you see, it's going in like that, and it goes out. That's how you lengthen it and shorten it. So we're going to install it now. You want to make sure that you again use this rubber gasket, and you're going to slide the rubber gasket into place all the way up to the base. You want the flat end up against the base of the valve. You want the tapered end to go into the opening at the bottom of the tank. So you're going to place that in just like that. On the bottom, we're going to replace that retaining nut. Now this just needs to be hand tight. You don't want to over tighten this. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall our supply line. Okay, now we don't want to turn the water on yet. We're not done, but we just want to get this connection made. Okay, so this hose right here is going to go between our flush valve and our overflow pipe. And what this does is this actually replenishes the water inside of the bowl when you flush the toilet. So we're going to stick one in right on here. And this is just a clamp that's going to hold that in place. We're going to squeeze it, slide it down till we get over the nipple on this flush valve and let go, and that's going to hold that there. This is going to go into a hole right here in the top of this overflow pipe. Now if you're working with the 2-inch flush valve that's got a different type of overflow pipe, you'll probably need to use this, which came in the kit, and this just slides right down onto the top of the pipe, and then this tube is actually going to go onto here, and that's what holds it in place over your overflow tube. This right here is an adjustment that's going to dictate how much water we want to go into the bowl after we flush the toilet. And by turning down this way, it pinches this hose and lets less water go through. You roll it back this way, it opens up and it lets more water go into the bowl. Okay, so now we're going to install our new handle. Once you've got your handle through the opening, then you just want to slide your locking nut on. You want to make sure that the flat side of the locking nut is going up against the porcelain. And then you want to remember it's backwards threaded, just like when we took it off. Then all we want to do is we want to grab our chain from the flapper, and you want to leave a little bit of the chain dangling. You don't want it very tight because you want it to be able to float down and seal. So now that everything's complete and you've got your water turned back on, you just want to adjust this valve so that it turns on and off at the appropriate spots. You do that by turning this knob. As you turn it counterclockwise, it's going to be less water that's going to go into this tank. You turn it clockwise and it's going to put more water into the tank. And typically you want this to turn off when it gets about a ½ inch below your overflow pipe. Now that we have our toilet rebuilt, we want to turn our water on so that we can make those adjustments so we have the proper amount of water going into the tank.
Hey, listen, can I encourage you to join the seejanedrill community? I'm going to place a link in the description below that will take you there so you can check it out, because there's like-minded people like you, man. They're trying to save money because, well, things are so expensive right now. And it's a great community with great people, and you'll learn a lot. So check it out. This is Leah saying you can do this. See you next time. I got to tell you, seejanedrill has a big announcement. I want to share it with you guys today. I want you to keep your eyes open for it. Now, what is it? It's something that many of you have been requesting for quite a while, and I decided to finally do it. It's the seejanedrill Homeowner Survival Guide. And I want to tell you, it is unlike any book you will ever see or read. So keep your eyes open. It's gonna roll out in the next month or so, but I'm gonna remind you of it.